President Donald Trump, yes, he has signed an executive order reclassifying marijuana as a less dangerous drug. And with this, it is reclassifying it from a substance 1 to a substance 3 drug. And with this one, it goes out to only the legitimately sick people who is entitled or who will be able to use this particular drug. So President Donald Trump signs an executive order reclassifying marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Yes, not a recreational drug. It is moving it from a Schedule 1 narcotic to a Schedule 3 controlled substance, and it is only solely for medical uses only. So this is what President Trump is saying. So let's go and listen to President Donald Trump, what he said about marijuana, and then we'll come back.
Today I'm pleased to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain. For decades, this action has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain, incurable diseases, aggressive cancers, seizure disorders, neurological problems, and more, including numerous veterans with service-related injuries and older Americans who live with chronic medical problems that severely degrade their quality of life.
All right, so as we listen to President Donald Trump, he was talking about the fact that he was receiving a lot of pressure. People were talking about legalizing marijuana in the United States of America, and he received a lot of calls for him to legalize marijuana in United States of America. And yes, indeed, he listened to them, and he has indeed scheduled it to Schedule 3, that it is not just for recreation. If you are not sick, or if it is not recommended by a doctor for you to use that particular drug, or for you to use marijuana, you are not entitled to use it. So yes, we have it on your screens. President Trump signs executive order that will reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. So now he's talking about the fact that people with extreme pain, people with incurable diseases, people with degressive cancers, people with seizures, and then neurological problems, such as people of veterans who with service-related problems. So people who have served the nation and has service-related problems, and people with incurable disease, all these people, once it is prescribed by a doctor, you can use marijuana to heal yourself. A lot of people were talking about it. Even in Ghana here, Black Rasta was talking about the fact that we should legalize marijuana. Even in Ghana here, he was citing it that we can legalize marijuana here because its herbs or herbal benefits is more enormous than the dangers that is associated with marijuana. So yes, indeed, President Donald Trump is saying that yes, he listened to people, or he listened to the people that were talking about the fact that they need this drug as part of their healing processes. So President Donald Trump listened to them. So these people that we have categorized them, if it is for recreational purposes, you can't use marijuana. But if it is prescribed by the doctor, yes, indeed, you can use it. Not for recreational purposes, but if it is prescribed, just as I said, you can use it. A lot of people were talking about how this is really affecting them, because even if it is prescribed and you are using it, before you will be able to prove that this was a prescription from a hospital, probably you'll be in jail before your lawyers will come and negotiate, talk about it, bring proofs that is proving that yes, the marijuana was really prescribed by a doctor. That is when probably you'll be safe. Other than that, before you use marijuana, per the new executive order by President Donald Trump, you have to be someone who is legitimately sick, who you have been assigned to use this particular drug. So there are more videos to this particular news from the United States of America. Let's go and then watch this news, and we'll come back. Okay. All right, so going on with our next story. Students in Japan who are from Nigeria are in big trouble. When I say big trouble, yes, indeed, they are in big trouble, because now the states or the Japanese government are banning Nigerian students to procure a visa and move from Nigeria to Japan to go and study, especially in the Japanese language schools. Because of one or two reasons, there has been some kind of, if I should say, some fraud issues and all that. This is the reason why they are telling the students in Nigeria not to apply for a visa to go and study in Japan, because it won't be, granted to them. So we'll go and listen to this Nigerian student living in Japan, or this Nigerian student, and listen to her, what she's saying about this kind of restrictions that has been put on Nigeria, Nigerian students who wants to relocate to Japan and study in Japan. So we'll listen to her, and then we'll come back and give you more updates on this particular restrictions that has been put on Nigeria. We'll come back shortly.
I am worried. I am really worried for our people, and I think we need to do better. My heart is heavy. As you know, I started making inquiries about Japanese language schools for people who are interested in coming to Japan to study the Japanese language. Before now, Japanese language schools used to be one of the easiest ways to relocate or migrate to Japan. You were not required to pay your tuition or hostel fee before coming to Japan. All you needed was the admission, the application fee, enrollment fee, and once your COE is out, you go get your visa, and then when you come to Japan, as you start studying, you can pay your tuition and accommodation fee. But now everything has changed. In fact, getting admission into the Japanese language school is now one of the most difficult procedures in Japan right now. And guess what? This is only for Nigerians. Yes, only for Nigerians. This week, I reached out to 10 Japanese language schools, asking them about admission procedures for international students, overseas students, people who are planning to come in from outside of Japan. And 8 out of 10 of those Japanese language schools told me that they do not admit Nigerian students. I was shocked. I started doing my research. I started asking questions. I asked some of the language schools. Some of them were hesitant to talk, and then I think one of them told me that Nigerian students have abused the privilege. Nigerian students will come in from Nigeria. As soon as they land Japan, they would abscond. They will not attend language class. They will not pay their tuition. They will not pay for the accommodation. Everything that had been preserved and prepared for them before coming, they would, even from the airport, many of them would abscond. They won't even go to the language school where they got admission. Initially, they changed their rules and their requirements and asked that you must pay tuition before coming into Japan. You must pay your tuition fee, your accommodation fee before you get visa to come. Even at that, when they pay, is it that many of them are not attending classes? Is it that they don't, they just attend for a few months and they abscond? Is just horrible, to the point that they had to ban Nigerian students from getting admission into language schools in Japan. And before you start saying, oh, is it not their money, so long as they paid, it doesn't work like that. Japan is a very strict country. The Ministry of Education is actually supervising those language schools who have the privilege to admit students from abroad. There are only very few language schools that have that opportunity, that privilege of bringing in students from abroad. And the Ministry of Education is highly interested in those schools and supervises their activities, monitors and supervises very strictly. If you do not have up to 90% of attendance, like your students do not have up to 90% of attendance, they will withdraw your license. You won't be able to bring in foreign students anymore. And many of these schools, their major clients are usually international students from China, Vietnam, the surrounding surrounding Asian countries, and a few other African countries. So you see, withdrawing license from them is such a big deal, because many people who are already in Japan already understand Japanese language to some extent. So they make their money mostly from international students. Now imagine you coming to spoil their business for them. So they had to reach an agreement with the Ministry of Education by telling them that they are no longer going to accept Nigerian students. How shameful. I am really, really embarrassed and sad about this development. Why can't we do better? Why? Is everything about money? Is everything about money? You come in through a door, and then you shut that door against your brothers and sisters? You shut that door for the remaining people who should use this same opportunity that you use because of your selfishness. It's very bad. We need to start doing better as Nigerians, as Africans, to start, projecting a very good image and integrity. Because I'm sick and tired. We are the first to complain, oh, they hate us, they do this, they're discriminating against us. But check yourself. What has led to their decision or their stereotype against you? We really, really need to do better. Please and please, for those of you contacting me for language school and admission into Japan, if you know that you're not ready to study, you don't want to come, at least that 1 year, sacrifice it and learn the language, go to the school that you actually came in for. Then after that, you can do whatever you like. You can continue to live in Japan after studying for as long as you can. Why do you want to spoil the chances of other people? And then you don't know that learning the language gives you an edge. If you know the Japanese language, you have more opportunities than people who are even PhD holders in this country that do not understand or read and write the Japanese language. You have opportunities and access to so many companies who are looking for people who are proficient in Japanese, because this is a Japanese country. They don't care about your degree and all of that if you cannot speak their language, because you'll be useless to them. So you don't know that learning that language actually gives you an opportunity. That money that you are looking for, that you think you can get on the streets, you will actually get double and triple of it if you actually go through that language school that you actually came for. So please, this is the plea to all of us Africans, my brothers and sisters, wherever you are. If you're planning to come into Japan through language school, please and please endeavor, try your best to see that you attend. Not only attend, you have a very good record of attendance. Meet the 90% attendance. Be there. Learn and graduate like others, so that we do not close the opportunities for others who are, it might be your brothers or your sisters tomorrow trying to come in, or even your children, and you have shut the door against them because of your selfishness. Please, let's do better. Thank you.